Great, we'll call the meeting to order. First item is, are there any adjustments to the agenda? We do have executive session. We have a guest. Adam, I'm sorry, what's your last name?
Gambler.
To talk about the cybersecurity report that York has been working on. And we may move that up on the agenda if there's no other public attendees here, to give Adam a chance to meet with us and get on the road, and then we can talk about the ordinances. So I suggest that we maybe move that after the Meadow Road Bridge inspection update and before ordinance review and work session. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
And I don't imagine there's anybody here for public comment. So we'll move to the first business item, Kurt, knotweed update. We're up to the table.
Thank you, folks. Was a couple weeks ago, I got a video that UVM, our interns, prepared about their summer experience, and it was so good. I just thought, oh, you ought to see it. So I think York might be able to kind of cue it up.
Am I queuing it up? That's fine.
No.
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that. I'm a little discombobulated,
Yeah.
so give me 1 second. I'm sorry, Kurt.
Okay.
Kurt, do you want to give a quick update of like how many weeks they were there while I spent just a second doing this?
Yeah, they were there from the first week in June through the third week in August. They were an amazing team. They got more done than I ever expected. And if we can work things out, I've got some pictures to show you of that.
Tell me if you see this.
Yeah, we got it.
I see it.
Now, I don't know how the sound is going to be, so we will see.
This is the Mad River Valley Knotweed Project, and it's an internship through the UVM Rubenstein Perennial Program.
Now the sound stopped.
You are trying to figure out the best management strategies for Japanese knotweed.
Japanese knotweed is an incredibly invasive species. It increases erosion. It pushes out other native species.
We're outside for 6 hours a day, just in the brutal heat, working to just pull plants out of the ground.
You're at the end of what, 200 hours of work as an intern, something like that, here in the Mad River Valley.
Yeah.
What comes up when you think about all of that work?
Yeah. Right now, tired of it. Tired of the knotweed. Tired of the invasion. I think I hit like a slump, maybe about a month in, where I thought that there's no way that we could ever manage knotweed. And then I think we started having more community pool days.
The community polls in Waitsfield. It's seeing a bunch of community members come together and just with like one goal to try to eradicate knotweed from a site, to try to like reclaim a swimming hole or a park.
And coming back to the sites for the second round of polling and seeing for the first time, wait a minute, maybe this is actually working.
The music isn't working here.
This may be something.
There's only so much you can learn in the classroom versus what you can do out in the field. So we're taking sure the background info we have from classes, but now we're really applying it.
All the time in class, we're just looking at figures, we're looking at case studies, but we don't actually get to do hands-on management work like we did here.
The people who come here are so excited about it, and just really being a part of the community by doing conservation work has been really awesome.
Get this.
I listened to it this afternoon
Yeah,
on YouTube and it was fine.
yeah.
I think doing it through Zoom might be
Yeah.
making things a little bit tricky.
Sometimes be outside doing work with people that also care about the environment, and I'm looking to turn this into a community space. That feels great.
Even within the first week of working with these people, it kind of felt like a family already. Here we're with 6 other people who are all environment science based. We're all in the field doing the same thing. We're all tired at the same time, hungry at the same time. It's kind of fun to be doing this super hard work with people we like and have jokes with, share everything about our lives with. It's just really fun.
If I was talking to an intern to be, I would say to keep an open mind and to really get out of it what you put in.
Get your hands dirty, experience everything you can, come in with an open mind, be curious. Good things happen when you put yourself out there.
It's very community level, and that offers you the unique opportunity to make your ideas heard. And that's extremely valuable in this small setting. So speak your mind and see where it goes from there.
Now I need to go watch it to see what.
I was gonna say, York, could you send us the link to this so that we can see it on our own time? Actually fully appreciate all of the,
It's in the packet.
It's in the, there's a link.
oh, is it? Oh, okay, I'm sorry, York did the thing, don't listen to me.
The link is in the, you have the link in the meeting packet.
Ah.
Where is it hosted, just
It's at the bottom, sorry, it's YouTube. The link's at the bottom of the town administrator report.
But it links to YouTube.
It's a
Yes.
YouTube video, yeah.
I see it, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Kurt, why don't, have you thought about putting it out on Front Porch Forum?
I tried last week, but I don't think it worked, but I'll try.
Yeah,
None of you saw it, so it probably didn't work.
I never saw it.
Okay, I'll
I'm
do
behind
that.
on,
I am-
I'm a little behind too,
That's
though,
why
so.
Yeah,
don't,
yeah,
don't
well,
rely on.
no, but I didn't see it either.
I didn't see it on front porch.
Okay, I'll do that. York, are you able to show those photos that I sent you, or?
I think Larissa has that PowerPoint ready.
No, that's the PowerPoint for the cybersecurity.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm sorry. Yes, I can do that. I told you, I barely have it together right now.
Well, I mean, you have a few things going on, York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has been a little stressful.
You posted it as a calendar event, so it's up there as a calendar event. If you search for it.
Sorry, okay, I got you.
That's a workshop, I think.
Yeah.
That's not the video.
Posted a link to the video and now.
Oh, I did, okay.
I did it for you there.
But yeah, it's not a post.
Maybe put it up as a post. That would
Separate
be
post,
interesting, yeah.
okay. All right.
Wait, 1 second. I'm not sure. I should have it. There we go.
Go back, yeah, there. Oh, so, this partnership with UVM is really blossoming. This is a first-year class of all the incoming students at the Rubenstein School. They're the largest entering class ever. 320 students, and they featured our interns and the work in the Mad River Valley on the first day of class.
And for those who don't know what Rubenstein School is,
The Rubenstein School is a school for environment and natural resources at UVM. It's kind of nationally known program. All our interns come from that school. The dean was there, Walt Pullman is there, who heads the Field Naturalist program. So anyway, all the incoming students got to hear about our work in the Mad River Valley, so it was a great recruiting event. Maybe the next slide, York, please. So just as a reminder, our 3 towns are now managing 294 knotweed sites across the valley. Most of those are in the upper elevations along roadways and tributaries, but they're relatively small. And it's possible to greatly shrink and in some cases eradicate those sites. So that is happening. And each year we manage a site, it takes about 50% less time each year. So we're able to devote more time now to some of the larger sites along the Mad River. And this year in Waitsfield, we concentrated on the Farley property because of the work being done to create that as a park, and also at the Austin parcel. So the next slide there, please.
Just a reminder, those are both town-owned properties.
Right, yes. This is along the river at the Farley property. You can see the bridge there, the 100 bridge there, and you can also see flatbread across the river. If you can imagine, all that cleared area was a humongous stand of knotweed, 10 feet tall. That's all that was. So that was all cleared this year, and then I've got another picture here next, which is along Route 100. That entire bank and that interior space was also all dense knotweed. So a huge accomplishment this year at that site. We've been, there's kind of two, I guess, ecological advances, I would say, that we're working on this year. The next slide will show one of those. Where we're working on disturbed sites, like Austin and like Farley, wherever you find knotweed, you're also likely to find goutweed and bishopweed and honeysuckle. And we've been learning, if you just concentrate on the knotweed, you're just providing space, an opportunity for the knotweed, for the honeysuckle and the goutweed to take over. So we're realizing now that we need to get better at kind of managing kind of like a suite of invasives. And here we're experimenting at Farley. This is called solarization. So we put down clear plastic to basically roast the goutweed. And here we uncovered half of that area to see how it was working. And that was done about 2 weeks ago. And so far, I haven't seen any signs of the knotweed return, of the goutweed kind of returning there. And then also at that site, we've been managing the honeysuckle by cutting it back and then putting black plastic over the stump. And the literature suggests that can work. So we'll kind of see what that experiment yields.
So when you say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Does that also kill the knotweed root, like the black or clear plastic?
It can if you use, and we're actually using it's called smothering. So we've got at Farley, when you just kind of pull in there, right on the left there's a big smothering site. That uses old billboard material, so very heavy plastic and vinyl. So left on for 4 or 5 years, apparently that can't work. So we're experimenting with that too. There's also a site in LaRue where we're smothering.
How about buckthorn, garlic mustard, are they all present?
Garlic mustard, not so much. Buckthorn, a few at Farley, a lot on the Austin, on the path into the Austin parcel. A ton of buckthorn off to the right, very well established. So.
And do you seed after you do this?
Next slide. In the past, we've put like a conservation grass mix wherever we've disturbed the soil to prevent runoff and also to prevent the invasion of other invasives. The 2 UVM invasive species ecologists were working with us have suggested that we try introducing many more species. So here at Farley, we've been using like 6 different native seed mixes with probably about 80 different species, of native things. So a lot of you've heard of, milkweed, The asters that we see all over the place, goldenrod and so forth. So we've just started planting those on some of the areas where we've dug at Farley. So that could also prevent what they call secondary invasion, which is these non-native species kind of moving in. So the holistic management of invasives and a more comprehensive approach to kind of restoration, is kind of on the drawing boards for this effort. We planted trees and shrubs in the past. That's been a conventional practice. So I think this can kind of augment that, and we'll see how it goes. That's the kind of update on plans. A few things to keep alert for upcoming in the fall. North Branch Nature Center is holding a workshop here on the Valley-wide effort on the 22nd.
Here, literally here?
Here, well, it's gonna start here in this conference room, and then we're gonna go out in the field and show people a few sites.
But what time is that on the 22nd?
That's 4:00. It's 4 until 6:30, right before your next meeting.
I was gonna say.
Right. But you'd be welcome to come for part of it. MRV TV is gonna film it. So it'll be available to the community. This late October, we'll be planting about 700 trees and shrubs. Our community volunteers, I think, will put in about 200 of those, and then we have a planting team from Intervale will put in the rest. So if you'd like to join in that, I'll get you a notice. And then two last things. I may have mentioned in the past, we take a real kind of a learning approach to this work. We try this, we try that, we see what works, and what doesn't, and that's really informed. And we use data, we're capturing data on all these sites. A new step in the learning realm is we're doing a qualitative research project. We're interviewing about 20 community volunteers, UVM interns, other partners, about basically what do they think are the factors and ingredients that are underneath the kind of sustainability and the ongoing growth of this invasive species and habitat restoration effort. We're doing that for three reasons. One, we want to learn what people think, and kind of get a fuller picture of what those factors might be, because we all have our own opinions, right? So we want to collect the opinions of some people that are very actively involved in this. That will help us inform the future stages of development of this effort. We also get asked by many communities around Vermont to tell us about what's happening here and why do you think it's working. And so we'll have some better answers to share there. And we're also seek to have it published, in a good journal.
That was gonna be my next question that was gonna be my next question is the experimenting. Have there been any publications for the experimenting?
Well, this will be the first one.
Okay.
And I think maybe in a year or two, we'll have enough data on our measurement plots to generate a publication. And our UVM professors will be kind of analyzing the data that we have. And they're actually gonna start this fall, but that'll kind of be preliminary data. The qualitative research, and then finally, the Lake Champlain Basin Program is in the fall, they're releasing several RFPs on additional funding. So I think we will apply for 2 or 3 grants this fall that'll allow us to kind of continue to push the envelope.
What's the status of the grant that we got? Was this the final year?
This is the second and final year.
Yeah.
Right, so it goes through December. So we're gonna see what we can do to find some additional kind of outside funding. So thanks. That was.
So thank you.
That's the remarks, so.
Is we're members of the Vermont Association of Conservation Commissions.
Yes,
Is there a workshop this fall? Their conference?
they're having an online short
Oh, okay.
conference this
So
fall.
you have presented at that last year, right?
No, I presented at a Hito and I presented at a statewide invasive species workshop.
Oh, okay.
Forest Parks and Recreation and the Land Trust hosted. And we did a webinar last January for VLT on this work, so kind of word is spreading around the state, so.
Thanks for the update and the leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks, Kurt.
Oh, and York was very supportive of our interns. He showed up at some of our not Thursdays, gave them the thumbs up and really helped welcome them, to town. He did.
I actually pulled out me too.
You did.
It's weirdly satisfying, right?
It is.
But I
I really enjoyed it.
I thought that'd be great.
Thank you, Kurt.
So moving on, the next item is the USDA funding package. And York or Chach, who's gonna take the lead on that?
It's Chach, do you wanna take it?
Why don't you, because you've probably read the details more than I have, and I can supplement as needed, if that's
Yeah.
okay.
That's fine. A week ago, I could have given almost a word by word of the entire document. Now I might not be able to.
Well, and I should say, just remind that the details are in our packet.
Yes, yeah.
The gist is, we have been expecting we were waiting this package, this funding package. We had gotten details even before my time with Waitsfield of what it may look like, so we had semi expectations. And we were expecting this early August, late July. That did not happen. And I talked to USDA, and USDA assured me that, because we had become the #1 project in Vermont, they were waiting for all those other projects that didn't happen, for all those funds to get back put in that bucket. With the expectation, as I heard it, that may even mean that we would, our funding package would look better with more grants. As you can see, when the package was sent, the grant is it $648,000 or $649,000? With the remaining for the first phase, which is really much more than the first phase of the project, which is Fiddler's Green and Irisville and the Munn site, which is where the treatment plant will be. So funding a grant, USDA loan, and the ARPA funds, which make up the 12-ish plus $1 million for the project. The complete project in total is only less than a third more than that. So this is a substantial part of the project. We have signed the documents, as we've shared in the past. Signing these documents is like a yellow light, as the USDA told us. It doesn't mean we're locked into it, but we had to sign that within almost 24 hours of receiving the documents. So Brian and I made sure that happened. I think there's a lot to come. There's a funding team that's going to be meeting soon. To really work on scenarios for what this is going to look like. And I just want to say that the end result is what this is about. It's not about wastewater. It's about creating housing. It's about creating infrastructure. It's about continuing Waitsfield as that hub of the Mad River Valley. And that's what we're going for. It's to decrease urban sprawl. It's to create the home that I think the community has really said that we want. And I know I'm new to Waitsfield, but I've heard from a lot of people. I've seen what the authentic community engagement has looked like for the Irisville Master Plan and for the wastewater project and what people's vision is. And as I've said to Brian, I think recently, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. The excitement of what the end result is going to be is amazing. And I think what we're looking forward to is to see what the funding team comes up with to be able to present to the select board on this, what I consider a really important select board workshop, September 24th. Is that all right? And then Josh or anyone else, and if questions, etc.
Yeah, I would add, and I agree with everything York just said, I wanna add that, yeah, this is not what, we were expecting, not what we were told to expect. We expected a much more balanced mix of grants and loans. So it came out, 7.5 million of loan and 649,000 of grant. On the surface, that's disappointing. That's gonna make, if we take down that whole loan, that'll make the affordability of the project more expensive. But in context of the change in, or the kind of pullback in federal funding across the whole nation, there are a million other communities wishing they had gotten this package that didn't. So I want to just keep that in perspective, that while this is not exactly what we'd hoped for, given the current environment where literally trillions of dollars of infrastructure funding through the Inflation Reduction Act are being clawed back, stuff that was already awarded is being pulled back. Honestly, I feel USDA really worked hard to get us as much as they could. The next step for us, given it's not exactly what we had expected, is to put it through all the financial models, see how we're gonna make this thing work. We don't have those answers today. The next meeting, at our next meeting, which I think is the 24th, we'll have more of those answers. We probably still won't have them all, but have had more time to digest and think this through and figure it out.
And we still are pursuing other potential grants.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, there is one also, I think in this package, the, I think it's the community development block grant for $1 million for the wastewater project. So yeah, there are additional funding.
Northern Borders Research, or, so.
Northern Borders Regional
VRC.
Commission.
QRST.
Yeah.
And then there's also the pollution, can someone remind me of that one?
Pollution control grant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's several things that we're actively working on, and we'll talk about the NBRC in a little bit. But the NBRC, Northern Borders, the pre-application was submitted about a week and a half ago. Our team reviewed what we did. I spent a lot of time on it, and JB and Josh Schwartz thought it was a really solid pre-application. So I think that's an exciting part of phase 1.5, which we could talk about later.
Just to clarify, when you said the next meeting, are you talking about the next select board meeting
Yes.
on the 22nd? Cause then there's that the wastewater workshop on Wednesday, the 24th.
I'm talking about the 24th, that wastewater.
Okay, the
Sorry.
specifically workshop, okay, I just wanted to.
Good clarification.
I think the funding team's goal is to have, the scenarios, like I'm looking at this as scenarios, and the scenarios and the presentation for the select board on the 24th, and that takes time.
Yeah.
We wanna make sure we have all of our eggs in our basket, or, I don't know, our ducks in a row, that's the right word.
Ducks in a basket?
Yeah, no, ducks in a row.
I would add one other thing, maybe two other things. Reminder that, while we just said the USDA funding is not exactly what we hoped for, we have raised $4 million of grant funding to date, primarily ARPA money, also some state clean water development, Clean Water State Revolving Fund money. That's awesome, that's a ton of money. We have used that money to get almost through design, so we're, out of the 60% design, we're progressing as we speak through the 90% and 100% design. That should be complete next March, so in the 6-month time frame. The relevance of that to this conversation is the two things. One, we haven't used a penny of our taxpayers' dollars to get there. We've put over $1 million into this project through the design phase. Haven't used a penny of taxpayer funding. I think that's really important. Two, the further we get towards completion of design, the more seriously we get taken by other funding agencies when they see that, okay, you guys have raised all this money already, you've gotten committed funding from USDA and ARPA, you've completed your design, they're more likely to give us additional funding to get the project built. No guarantee of that, but every time we hit a milestone, we get more we move up the priority lists of these grant agencies. So I think we're doing all we can in a dynamically different landscape than when we started. But we're gonna keep going and we're gonna go hard at it.
Some of the other communities that were awarded ARPA funds aren't moving forward with their project. Is there a chance to redirect some of that towards Waitsfield?
Yeah, if you recall the history here, our original ARPA grant was $2.5 million. We did get an additional $1 million six-ish months ago. I can't remember.
April-ish.
Yeah. So we got an additional $1 million of redirected ARPA money from projects that were originally awarded but didn't move forward, as Brian said. Whether there's an opportunity for more of that, I don't know. I took a little pause on the project. Josh or York, you may be more aware.
I mean, I could just say that, yeah, thanks, Josh. I mean, 100%. And I think it goes to the point that, like, all these meetings we have, the amount of stakeholders that are joining in, I don't want to say that, like, poop is exciting, but it is. Like, you can see it. Like, more and more people are joining in on this. Everyone that's running the state ARPA dollars, like, they join almost every other wastewater meeting we have because it's so important. And like, full stop. And you can see it, and they write emails, and they'll take any phone call, and they join the meetings, and they're fully engaged because they know how important this project is. And to Chacha's point, the further along we get, the more seriously we're taken, and hopefully more dollars will follow.
Any other questions or thoughts?
Right
Well, thanks for the update. So we're gonna dig deep on the 24th.
Yeah, be ready.
Alright.
So with that, we have at the end of our agenda a motion for executive session.
You wanted,
Oh, sorry. Geez, yeah, sorry about that. I skipped over. So we did get the inspection report back. I have not had a chance to dig into it yet. The bridge was not required to be closed, which was good news, and
Oh, the committee that decides that hasn't really rendered a verdict yet.
Yeah,
and Allison, I'll turn it over for you for a 3-minute update in a second. Part of that will be that the grant application that we approved several months ago and then got suspended and then was reestablished was submitted today. And we have, at our last meeting, and I don't think York has had a chance, we are doing outreach to, we'll be doing some outreach to some engineering firms to do a temporary fix, to see if it's a temporary fix that will last hopefully 10 years or so, according to as range as possible. And then the other point is that there is still a possibility of some FEMA support for design work and possibly temporary improvements. So Alice, do you have anything to add?
well, you basically said everything I was gonna say. Keith and I touched base last week and today, and he let me know the minute he hit the button, as soon as the portal opened to apply. Not sure if it's a first come, first served, but, you know, get it in ASAP when the doors open. Now we wait to see what happens, and this is the funding that will give us the V-Trans required steps for an engineering study and then an engineering plan. We keep talking about 60%, this would be a 90% plan that would be shovel-ready to replace the bridge. The inspection report really reads like, this is getting a lot worse, like, are you gonna do something? We have a plan that we could give everybody a can of Rust-Oleum in the town and let them rebar and, but, it does bring up the topic of putting in girders it would be sistering the girders that are the support girders under the bridge. It talks about redoing the deck, obviously would need to be done. And, so the list of engineering firms or construction companies, Sven Scribner from V-Trans gave those.
Yeah.
And do you have them, York? I think I emailed them. I'll send them to you again.
That's good. Well, I'm gonna check in with you and Keith tomorrow or Wednesday also. So,
Yeah.
I have yeah.
Yeah, Keith knows who the good he knows all those firms, because at some point he's worked with them. And they could come and say, yeah, we could do this is a good idea, and they'll give us an estimate of what it might cost. Sven at the time said $35,000 to $40,000 should put the bridge in shape to buy us some years, so that we can do the real necessary work to replace the bridge. And that's about it. That's what we're just waiting on. I do know the latest news, because Keith and I and everybody on the flood listserv checks on FEMA every day. They have suspended giving out the disaster mitigation funding. Trump decided he doesn't want to give it out. He wants the states to do it. So that's in limbo right now. But this funding is not touched by that for the grant. And if anybody is wondering, there's a sign on Route 100 saying bridge work is going to commence. And I got a lot of questions of what bridge is that? That is state-owned bridge, 181, which is at the intersection or slightly askew from Armstrong Road and Tremblay Road. There had been a cone there marking it, so that's where the work is being done.
That's the bridge that V-Trans inspected and said, we need to deal with this now, not later.
Yeah, it's their bridge. Tremblay Bridge is a different story. It's
Yeah.
missing bolts. Yeah.
Let's not go there.
But, it's an easy do
Yep.
to have contractor loop that in too.
And I did talk to Josh Rogers, who asked about doing some patchwork on the deck. And
Yep.
we asked him to hold off for the inspection, and he's gonna get on that, because there's exposed rebar, which is not only further deteriorating, but it's probably gonna puncture somebody's tire.
Exactly.
He's been very, very anxious.
Exactly.
The diameter of the rebar is less than half,
Yeah,
and it is flexing, and it's just a matter of time before it comes right.
yeah, so he is gonna patch
I
that.
was going to bring that up, good.
So, anything else? York, anything quickly on FEMA?
No, I just, let's hope FEMA's still good, and FEMA, the funding may help pay for almost the whole project, I hope, honestly. But we'll hope and, cross our fingers.
Mhm.
I meet with them on Thursday again.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Alice.
Thanks, Alice.
So
We're
now,
renaming the bridge.
what's that?
We're renaming that bridge, the Alice Peel Memorial Bridge.
Well, you gotta die to in order to call it.
We gotta die first. Okay, that's it, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alice.
So now, let's, sorry I jumped the gun, but go to the executive session to deal with cybersecurity, not just wait on personnel till the end of the meeting. Is there
Okay.
a motion?
I'm gonna pause the recording.
Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
And can we consider asking York Haberkamp and Adam Gamlin to join the
Yes.
session? Yes.
Thank you. So we're coming out of executive session at 8:20, and we're not taking any action on any of the matters that we discussed. The next item on the agenda is ordinance review and work session. And, York, the email exchange that you CC'd me on regarding the traffic ordinance, I was involved in the 2020 update. I don't recall a 2023 update, and I'm just curious if you figured out if we're working from the wrong document.
All I know is I've gone through the ordinance binder, I've gone through all the server, and the 2020 is the most recent I've ever seen. Now, I'm not sure I've checked emails, so maybe there's, I mean, there's a proper way to like put these in an ordinance binder at least, and it's nowhere.
Where did you see
So,
the
when
20?
she
Well,
wrote that, I was quite confused.
York had an exchange with Christine Rosie, and she recalls having a 2023 version. She was actually working in the office, and I think she said she wasn't able to upload it to the webpage. It was while she was it wouldn't have been while she was the interim manager, because it's 2023.
Not 2023.
Is it 23, not 24?
No,
She said 23.
she said 23. I don't know why she would have been uploading it to the webpage.
Maybe she meant 24, but that would have just been last year then. And the
Yeah.
sheriff's department knew nothing about it either. The sheriff's department, it referenced, our ordinance, that was not online at that time, because I posted it since then, as not being adequate to allow them to, allow the town to receive money from tickets along that corridor. But she also questioned my mileage, which I got from Josh Schwartz, in the blue and the highlight.
Well,
Those are directly from what Josh Schwartz shared for me, and she said those didn't seem right.
She was talking about south of Irisville, where the 30 mile per hour, it was reduced from 40 to 30 down there as well.
Yeah, and I asked Josh about that, and so that's a little confusing. So we might need to wait a week on this,
Okay.
and, because I sent it to the sheriff's department, I never heard back from them. And now apparently there's questions, so.
For what it's worth, I do
apologize
vaguely
for that.
recall reviewing traffic ordinances early on in when I started, because it was just one of the first things that I was like, oh gosh, I don't know anything about this, and I remember feeling that. So I can also poke through the
And
agendas that
I will as
have.
well, yeah,
And see if I can find a more recent version.
I will as well. And then the final point that she raised was we've added crosswalks. My understanding is we don't include the Route 100 crosswalks, just these town crosswalks.
That was my understanding too, which is why, and I reviewed it, and the only two on there are the two that are not on the Route 100, so I
Yeah,
I mean, I'm looking at the server right now. There is a multitude of years here from 2006 on. And I'm not seeing anything after, one second. No, 2020. So there's not one on, this one said updated 2023, but as amended through 2020. So if this is a new one, they didn't change anything on it. Like it says as last amended on 12/11/20. So if this is different, even though it's saved in the server in 2023, and I'm looking at it, I don't think this is different. So I don't know where to find it, and I apologize if I should.
well, at this time, at this hour, I don't think, we're not gonna solve it tonight. We should kick it down and make sure we're doing everything right.
Agreed.
Also, if we have edits or, just like, I just was looking randomly at parking regulations, section 2, shall be unlawful to park on the south side of Bridge Street from a point 215 feet east of Vermont Route 100, Main Street, easterly to the covered bridge. Should that be westerly?
One more time.
It's saying it should be unlawful to park on the south side of Town Highway 1, Bridge Street, from a point 215 feet east of Vermont Route 100, easterly to the covered bridge.
That would be right,
That could still be.
That could still be right.
yeah.
So it's, because that's how long
It's like
Bridge is.
farther east
I got
from
it.
the original
I
point.
got it. I was measuring from, I was going from the bridge, from Route 100. Okay. Never mind.
So let's,
Section 8 says that citations can be appealed to the Waitsfield Selectboard.
I don't think they
No,
can.
that's not
Yeah.
true. It's appealed to, they go to the court.
yeah,
Okay,
Or is that just with respect to bridge and weight and height limits?
I'm not looking at it right now, and I can't
General-
remember.
general
I'll
provisions.
wrote it. The reason I did that is because I found some recommendations somewhere, and now that I'm not at my real computer, I can't remember exactly why, or where those came from. Either they were examples through other towns, or through VLCT, and I can't remember right now.
It says this ordinance, which is the whole thing, so we should.
Because we spent so much time on cybersecurity, and since York is, as you said several times, holding it together
Yep.
very well, but under stress, I'm sure. Let's put this down the road.
Makes sense.
Talking about the other ones, Fred, do you have specifics on animal control ordinance? Not tonight, but do you,
Yes, and York and I reviewed them,
okay.
yeah.
So
I think we have a plan.
that's ready to come forward, but not tonight.
Yeah.
I think Fred and I have a plan.
We need to rewrite it.
Okay,
It needs to be written out so you folks can see it, but yeah, we have a plan.
okay. And then,
It's just gonna be amending what we already have, and we have an idea of what that's gonna look like.
Basically, the dog ordinance will become an annex to the animal control ordinance,
okay,
basically,
yeah.
and then enforcement.
And I think procurement is changing some of the, increasing some of the single source, making it, giving a little bit more flexibility in line with other public agencies, which ours hasn't been increased. I'll work with York on that to bring some suggested changes, rather than hash it out tonight, let's review a draft. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sounds good.
And
I love
real-
that.
Suggestion.
And real quick, I think there should be a paragraph added to the procurement policy for when we're in an emergency situation,
Yes.
so that people understand what this procurement policy is if we are
Yeah,
in an emergency.
I think there is, because I know during the flood, I talked to Josh, and, you know, I'm pretty sure I saw the opening to allow us to say, you get what you need.
I think it'd be good to put it in the procurement policy.
Well, I think it is.
Oh, okay,
but I'm
maybe I
not-
missed it, maybe I
But
missed
let's,
it. Okay. Not to drag it out.
In the emergency management plan, are there, I think that there's some guidelines, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah, there is, the emergency purchases, the provision of this policy may be waived in the event of an emergency. And then it goes on in some detail about emergency situations, one in which a significant and imminent threat to the lives and health of people, property, and municipality,
Okay.
delivery of necessary services.
I missed it.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is right there.
yeah. it's
Okay,
on
I'm sorry.
Page 5.
Never mind.
So side note, I talked to FEMA about procurement, because I wanted to make sure we did it right, et cetera, and, you know, forgetting an engineer, and, you know, and she's like, well, whichever one's the most severe or strict. And I said, well, what's FEMA's? And she said, I think it's $250,000. And I said, well, I think that, then we'll go with our procurement costs.
Yes. Okay, so we have a plan moving forward. So we can move on?
Yep.
And so those are the three. We're gonna deal with traffic, animal control, and procurement in the near future after we all do some more homework. York, the roosters?
Yeah, I mean, it's ongoing, and the emails from the neighbors are still coming. I got another one today, 2 today actually. They are like really upset that it's not done. And I'm like, I told them right from the beginning, it's gonna take time, we're doing our best. I've actually called the sheriff's office twice, because Fred and I discussed it, and we said, well, maybe it's time for the sheriff's office to deliver a fine. But they haven't called me back either. But Fred, I'll let Fred, at any rate, there's a lot of complaints. It's, roosters are scary in terms of the public opinion. Maybe I'll let Fred describe a little bit what he's done. I think that happened after our last visit, our last select board meeting, and then, talk about the letter and see if you have any amendments for the letter.
The edits you made looked good from what I saw.
Yeah,
Thank you, Bruce.
the letter looks good, and that should be signed and out of this. soon.
I mean, essentially Fred has made contact, he's talked to them, they were very angry.
Them being the owner of the Roosters, right?
Yeah, the owner of the Roosters kind of had a not friendly phone call. And I reached back out to the neighbors and said, please let me know if there's more complaints so that we're, staying in line with ordinance and make sure we're following this. And of course, it's still happening. They're pretty upset. They want to reach out, go up to the state troopers, which Fred said isn't going to get them anywhere. And anyway, we're trying. I responded today, I said, if maybe I'll reach out to the constable, which is another option. And then maybe the constable and Fred would go out and deliver the fine, I think is what Fred thought would be good. But we're moving forward. It takes time.
I think the best course of action is sign that letter and get it out of here immediately.
Yeah, I may want to tweak a couple things, just, especially their property does not qualify for an agricultural exemption unless he has 200 chickens.
Well, I agree, and that's why Fred recommended I just basically say, if you have proof of something, then give us the 1040F. And then if that shows that he's lying, then, because he doesn't have enough acres.
Oh, he's claimed he has an exemption?
He told Fred he did.
He claims that he has an exemption, right to farm law, he said the right to farm law. Research that, you gotta have more than 4 acres, he has 1.6 acres.
I'm pretty sure it's 200 chickens, 200 birds.
Yeah, and you have to earn over $2,000 a year, doubtful from what anything I saw that could produce $2,000 worth of agriculture, so. Anyway, and it's a very adversarial conversation. I told him if he had documentation to deliver it here to the town office.
So this is going out under my signature, I will get it out, I'll coordinate with you, or I can get it out in the next one.
Yeah, and Brian, any
That's our
changes
best
you want
course
to
of
make,
action.
obviously.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, make any changes you recommend.
Yeah.
I that was under Fred's advisement. I thought it was good because
No, I think it was good, I'm just,
it
might be well
would be
written, it's good.
interesting. Okay.
He needs to know that the next step is burying here.
Yeah. Okay.
And Fred recommended that it was your signature, Brian, and so I added it. If you'd like it to be the whole select board, we can change that as
No,
well.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. And then we had, when we talked about tonight's agenda, we had on our list of priorities that we would start organizing town meeting committee in September. So we put that on the agenda versus suggestion.
Yeah, I remember that in my mind that was a thing that was gonna happen in September, and it's September, so I figured if nothing else, putting it back on our respective radars and sort of, if not tonight, doing some preliminary sort of thoughts of what we want that to look like and what we want additional engagement.
Well, the purpose would be to, make changes to how we conduct town meeting, how we promote it and make it more interesting, how we schedule it, to bring more participants in. Maybe we should outline kind of a scope for a committee.
Okay.
Looking at some of the examples of towns that have done a really good job in the past. Bethel was one that was held out, I remember last year. Bristol brought in food trucks, because they do theirs at night. So, childcare we've done in the past. I'm always thinking I could use a cup of coffee.
Yeah, the common denominator that I've got is if it's in the morning, there really needs to be coffee, and if there isn't, nobody's gonna come.
Yeah. And then, so we could put together kind of, I don't think we want to prescribe too much and let the committee, do their work and figure out, and then maybe advertise for that on the paper and Front Porch Forum.
And the PTA wanted to be involved at least to conduct a survey of the school age population through the school to see whether people would be more likely to come at a different time.
That'd be great. Is there somebody from the PTA who would?
They've already asked, the board chair.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I wonder if we can, if either people send.
With them about it.
What's that, York?
I don't know if people want to send me names, or if Dave is I'm taking this on, then people send Dave names. But whenever, just, I mean, if people wanna send me names, then we could just start an email list and I'll just send out an email and say, hey, let's get set our calendar with this subcommittee.
I'm happy to be on it, and I'll get whoever wants to be on from the PTA. Names beyond that I don't have, but.
There was one before when there was a petition to go to an Australian ballot. I was on one with a few people who were pretty, I think, pretty interested and good about it. I'm wondering if Carrie'd be up for it as the moderator. We can ask her.
Yeah.
I
Well,
do
Dave-
think that having some sort of scope of what we're hoping the
Yeah.
subcommittee will accomplish
Yeah,
is probably a
Dave,
good thing to have in concert with recommendations on names, because you
Yeah.
don't wanna like gather a bunch of people and not have something specific to ask them
No, I agree.
to do.
I agree. So Dave, would you like to, whenever, I'll be back Wednesday, Thursday, if you'd like to
Yeah.
meet, or we can text or chat and then come up with that.
We'll come up with the scope at that meeting.
Yeah, let me know. I'll,
Well, I would like to have somewhat of an idea and then
Yeah.
build upon that, cause I agree with Larissa, I think an idea of scope would be good.
So let me know, I'd like to go to that meeting too and help put that together.
Yeah, in one word, it's make it more accessible and well-attended.
Yeah, that's right.
And easy for people of all stripes to
Yeah.
come, and not have it be, you know, it's hard, we have working people during the day and parents have small kids that go to sleep, so there has to be a balance struck, but maybe.
I mean, I felt a little negative after the town meeting, saying like, if we keep doing what we're doing, it's gonna die, or we have to make a change. And I think I said to Brian's like, we're not letting town meeting die. And I love town meeting, it's one of my favorite things in Vermont, honestly.
Well,
So-
you know, the first year I was moderator, we had a very contentious issue on, and we had over 200 people. It was the best attended town meeting I ever went to, and it was the hardest first day on the job I've ever had. We spent 3 hours on the select board report before even getting to the warning.
You know, part of it
Roosters.
might be how, if local businesses, what would work for them, would opening at 11 for many businesses work better for them, that would allow, you know,
Their
people-
employees.
their employees to
Yeah.
attend, rather than just having it be an obvious no-go for those people.
Yeah. So
Because-
we'll get together and come up with a draft work plan for the next meeting. And if you have any suggestions for names, send them to you. Okay. Consent agenda? Is there a motion? It's the minutes and the bills.
Oh, move to advance the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then, let's go into a extremely brief, executive session to talk about personnel matters. And this is just a follow-up of where we are, with the town administrator's 6-month review that we were planning on doing tonight and haven't done.
Yes.
And we will let you go to bed, York.
Yeah.
Are we done?
We will be done, yes.
That's fine. If you guys have any questions about the town administrator report, just like shoot me a text or an email and I'll respond.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, I did skip over that.
No, but it's late and I'm okay skipping it.
I'm sorry, and I
It
didn't
was
go
a
to
very
select,
good town administrator's report.
I didn't go to select board roundtable either, and I do want to bring something up. A reminder that we're supposed to do our ethics training by the end of September.
I definitely, yes.
Fred,
One
you-
person has done, well, 2 people have done it, me and another person that's in that room right now.
No, I've done it.
Oh, you've done it too?
Oh, Fred, did you do it?
Yeah, you even confirmed it.
Guys,
Oh, well, there you go.
it is
Okay.
worth it, you get to learn about septic.
Thank you, Fred, I'm
Tickets,
sorry.
lawn mowing services.
Make sure I checked it off my list in my office.
Okay.
And that's accessible through VLCT?
No, the
Question mark?
Vermont Ethics
Okay,
Commission.
all right.
Fred, thank you for reminding me that.
I can send around an email with a link.
I
won't
mean,
send
I
it
can
to
also
you. Yeah.
find it.
It's
I
pretty
just-
easy, you Google it, it comes up.
I just wanna make sure
It's
that
the best time of your life, Larissa.
Okay,
You'll never have to
I will gird my loins. So, Sounds great.
Anything else?
Yeah, we had a dog altercation on East Warren Road recently. One dog came out of their property and bit another dog that was walking leashed up the road. So I went to the house, left my card, copy of the dog ordinance, and a letter asking them to reply to me. I haven't heard anything, it's been a week. So it looks like we're probably gonna have another letter for you to sign.
Yeah, and actually Fred wanted me,
And
you know, they came to the office and told us what happened. They were fine, but they were upset. Her husband's a doctor, so he was able to take care of the puncture wounds. And Fred wanted me to create a letter, for them, and I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
So,
that's good. And the
you know,
dog,
if we want that even beforehand, we can do that before the next select board meeting and probably do that in the appropriate way.
and the dog isn't licensed, and this is.
That's correct. That is correct.
And this isn't.
As a matter of fact, I think Fred, I don't know if you know this, I think there's 2 dogs.
York.
Go ahead, Fred.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
And this is not the first time I've been there. It's been a couple of years, but I've been there before.
Same owner?
Same owner.
Fred, I think I've heard they have 2 dogs also, and there's no register for that address, so just so you know that.
Yeah, we'll put that in the letter that we draft.
Thanks, Fred.
Okay. All right, now let's go back to anybody else on the select board roundtable, or any questions for the town administrator's report?
I'm meeting with Candace White and a couple of folks, that sort of, I talked about meeting with the, Warren and Moortown, some select board members about the pedestrian accessibility of, North Road to Common and sort of inter-town coordination. Basically, next steps are we're meeting with Candace to find out sort of what the state stance is on sort of local regulation, being able to basically lower speed limits, because it seems like we're actually limited in what we can do. So I'm not sure what that will yield, but I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more.
Enforcement of speed limits.
Yes. So that's
Yeah,
what-
Larissa, can you, I mean, I know most of the answer on this, but like I got an email today about Vermont 100, it's 50 right before Tremblay. And the concern, especially now that it's basically a 5-lane intersection, and I'm equally concerned about that intersection, for multiple reasons. And so if you wanna bring that up for
That's sort
when
of
there's
outside,
appropriate
that's a
time.
little bit outside the scope of what we were planning on discussing, but I can certainly
Okay.
ask that sort of as an aside.
Okay,
And then our next meeting, we're having the CDBG flood mitigation public hearing. So we'll just build that into the agenda. So we'll go ahead and meet our regular meeting by 6:30. Anything else?
thanks.
So we do have a motion on the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters.
So moved.
Second?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, York.
Thank
Let's
you.
stop
Thank you,
recording.
York.
Yeah.
And we are
Thank you, John.
not gonna take,
8:45.
it's at 8:45.
Recording stopped.